What's going on, guys, and welcome back to some NFL offseason talk here. With training camp approaching, I need to get back to making these videos. I was going hard at them for a while, and now I got to get back on track and wrap up some more teams before training camp hits. And so today I'm talking with the defending Super Bowl champion New York Football Giants. And one of the things I get asked a lot is, Mr. Hurricane, what do you think about the Giants having a shot at repeating? I think the Giants do have a shot at repeating, and because of this man right here you just saw coming out of the tunnel, Eli Manning, who I would now categorize in the elite category, mostly because of his performance in the Super Bowl and him leading the New York Giants to another Super Bowl victory over the New England Patriots. And so I do like this team, although there are some things I'm concerned about this year, and one of them is their ridiculously hard schedule. If you take a look at it, it really has no easy points of the season. They open up against Dallas, they play Tampa Bay and Carolina, two teams who could emerge this year in the NFC South and be some surprise teams. Both of them got better this offseason. Of course, Carolina has Cam Newton. You got Philadelphia. You take Cleveland, which is probably the weakest opponent on this roster, but then you look at the entire NFC East that they play. Their out-of-division games are against like Baltimore, Atlanta, actually the entire AFC North even, and then you play like the Packers, and it's just ridiculous the schedule they have here. So it's going to be tough. And they also play in one of the toughest divisions in football. But also one of the things you have to look at this year is we are running out of horrible teams. Like, teams are getting better, even weaker teams in power rankings and the standings, however you want to look at it, they're all getting much stronger. Even a team like the Carolina Panthers has Cam Newton. Even a team like the Vikings has Jared Allen, Chad Greenway, Adrian Peterson, Percy Harvin. So you could probably look at almost any schedule this year and say that team has a hard schedule. But when you look at the Giants specifically, because they play in the NFC East and Washington has RG3, that's 6 games there that are going to be very tough. And then they play other division winners, which is going to be also tough for them. And so now, throwing away those schedules aside, and we'll take a look at the personnel now and how this team has changed from this offseason. You have Mario Manningham and Brandon Jacobs going over to San Francisco this offseason, and also losing Aaron Ross to Jacksonville. So they got Jaron Hosley in the draft. I think that's a good pick, especially in the 3rd round where they got him. Manningham's gone, and they didn't have much depth behind Cruz and Manningham and Nix. And so we're looking at now their 2nd round pick, the guy who fell to them in the bottom of the 2nd round. Rueben Randle is probably going to take over Manningham's spot. And I know a lot of people were really excited when they got Rueben Randle, but I, for one, am not a big Rueben Randle fan. Probably because I watched the wrong games, but I watched the games against Alabama when he was probably being covered, I would assume, I can't remember though, by Dre Kirkpatrick, an NFL caliber 1st round talent corner. So we'll see how Rueben Randle does in the NFL against these great corners, but he's also going to be the 3rd option on this team, and so that could open up some mismatches, especially because he's a very good possession receiver, good hands, and if they put Randle in the slot at all and he can run over the middle, then he's going to be playing against nickel cornerbacks who are likely going to be smaller than him. He's got to use his size and physicality to help his team out a little bit. And last year we saw Victor Cruz break out, an amazing year for a guy who was undrafted the year before and just broke out last year, over 1,500 yards and stats that may be hard to duplicate. And also, I always worry about Hakeem Nicks and his injury problems because he has never played 16 games in a season, the regular season I'm talking about, through his first 3 years of play, and he's hurt right now. He's questionable for the start of the season, so I want to see Hakeem Nicks stay healthy because when he is healthy, he is on top of his game. He is a dangerous receiver and one of the top outside threats, along with Victor Cruz. And then you open up that defense. Once you send those guys deep, you have Martellus Bennett, whom they signed from Dallas this year in the offseason, and we'll see how he is, though he's kind of been an underachiever at tight end, but maybe a change of scenery is what he needed. And then last year also, the Giants had the 32nd ranked rushing offense, which is kind of surprising considering they had big name players. They had Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs, but still only averaged 89 yards running. So we look at now with Jacobs in San Francisco, they picked up David Wilson in the 1st round. I wasn't a big fan of this pick because it's a guy who's probably not going to start at running back, and they took him in the 1st round. But now I do think it's a pretty good pick because it helps them have a 2-headed rushing attack, and Wilson also has some speed. I didn't actually watch him play at Virginia Tech, so I'll try to figure this kid out in the preseason this year when I watch the Giants games or their highlights or whatever. But I haven't even talked about their defense really yet. Of course, they have 2 of the best pass rushers on their defensive line, Justin Tuck and Jason Pierre-Paul. You also have Osi Umenyiora coming off of the bench. I like their defensive line a lot. They can pressure the quarterback, but did give up a lot of passing yards last year. They were 29th in passing defense, so I don't know how much better they got this year with getting Jaron Hosley and losing Aaron Ross. And I'm also not a big fan of their linebackers, but as a defensive unit overall, I like the Giants because of the way they can pressure the quarterback, and they do have some good players in that secondary that can make plays. And so when I look at the New York Giants, I see a team that last year was a good team in the regular season. They were only 9-7, but they were a great team in the playoffs. This year, good is not going to cut it for the Giants in the regular season. They have to have double-digit wins. They have to stay healthy, and they have to stay consistent, and Eli Manning has to play like an elite quarterback throughout this very tough schedule and a lot of very tough games. And so anyways, guys, that is my thoughts on the New York Giants this year. Please leave feedback on the video on what you think about what I had to say about the Giants. And Giants fans, let me know how you think your team is going to do this year in the tough NFC East with this crazy hard schedule. If you guys enjoyed the video, I would like you to please leave a like on the video. It will help more people find these videos, and I would really appreciate it. So thank you guys for watching. More NFL offseason talk here to come. Let me know who I should talk about next in the comment section, and I'll see you guys next time.